Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Grill. So in this video, I'll be recreating Joe Rogan's website in WordPress using the Gutenberg blocks and the default 2025 theme. Now it seems that the Joe Rogan website was created in Squarespace. Now features like the minimized sticky header there, it's going to be a little bit tricky to implement in WordPress because it is not a standard feature. But yeah, besides that, it is a single page website and it should be pretty easy. Let's get started, but before we do, if you'd like to connect with me on socials, my Twitter link will be down in the description below. I'm super active there. And yeah, I suppose let's get started. Alright, boys and girls, here we are within the computer screen. Now, whenever you're creating a website, two things that you need to be very familiar with when you're just starting off is the colors and the typography, or the fonts. So first of all, for this website, we have this sort of brown color going all the way through. This can be considered like the primary brown color, I guess, right? For header, we have this a little bit dark tint of a similar color. For text, it is all just white color. And finally, for the footer, we're using this sort of a very different deep bluish color. So yeah, these are the colors. And for the font, we are using URW. What was the name again? This thing has a weird name. Let me check it out. So the font name is URW DIN condensed form. And that is for the headings. For our text, it is URW form condensed. So these are the two different fonts that we're using, and just like how I just inspected the font, in the same way you can inspect colors as well. Like there you can see the color there is 0F0300. You can click on the element and you can view its styles right here, and you'll see the background color. And you can copy the hex, right? Now, one thing I do have to say about this website is that it's a little bit weird. First of all, let me show you this. What is this? These social icons are like barely visible. What do you mean? Is this a style choice or is it a mistake? If it is a style choice, I mean, it's bad. I'm sorry. But if it is a mistake, oh well, mistakes happen. And the second thing is going to be the inconsistent letter spacing. So here they are using a letter spacing of 0.4, right? This is a heading, so to speak. Fine, 0.4. Here they're using a letter spacing of 2 pixels. Totally fine. If I scroll down here, now for this one, they're using a letter spacing of 7 pixels. You know what? Fine. Let's go down here. And again, this is a text, and this time they're using a letter spacing of 0.4 pixels. So I'm going to try my best to make things a little bit more consistent, right? And I think these social icons, we're going to be making them better. Anywho, here I am within my WordPress website. This is a fresh website, kind of. It doesn't really have anything in here. But however, I have done a few things. First one being I have gathered all the media that I need. These are the 4 photos. My bad, these are 3 photos that I'll be needing. And after that, if we go here within the editor, if I go within styles here, within my colors, I've set up my palette so that I have all the necessary colors in here. I just went in and I added the hex code. Basically, that's all I did. And if I were to go back here, I can show you that I've also set up my typography. I've installed the URW form and URW DIN, semi-condensed, condensed, whatever variations there are. I got the URW DIN and the URW form font. And yeah, basically I've set the URW DIN font here for my headings and the URW form for my texts. And that's about all I've done. So now let's get started with our header. For that, we're going to go back within Appearance, Editor, and we're going to add a new template part. So go within Patterns and click on Add Pattern. And add a template part, select a header in here, and we're going to name this Joe Rogan header. I think we can divide this header into 3 different parts. So this is one part, right, or a single column, second column, and the third column. That's how I see it. There's many ways you can go about implementing this. But yeah, for now, that is what makes the most sense to me. So back in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a columns block, right, just like so. Select a 3-column layout, and here in the middle, I'm going to get a heading block for the text to Joe Rogan, and we're simply going to type in Joe Rogan. I have typed it, it's there, okay. Let me go ahead and let me change the background color for this column as well. Go within the Styles tab, go within background, and change its color. I'm pretty sure this was the header background color. Yeah, this was the header background color. Anyways, let's align this text to the center. Now I've already done my work here, and this text needs to be about 66 pixels, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place that in manually. 66 pixels, there it is, this is our text here. Now we need to get our page links, and the way to do that is very simple. You can either just get normal paragraph text and you can type it in like home, and I think what was the next one? The next one was JRE podcast, and finally about and shop. So right after this paragraph text, I'm going to duplicate it and I'm going to type in JRE podcast, and we'll be turning these into a link later on, so let's not even worry about it. Right now these are stacked, so let's go ahead and let's group them, and we'll be turning them into a row, just like so. There it is. And now we got to make sure this thing is justified to the right, and we need to select this column, and we need to do one thing, and that is we need to make sure everything is aligned to the middle, just like so. Looks pretty good. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to add a paragraph. Here it's going to be about, and again, let's go ahead, let's duplicate it. The other one is going to be shop. Once again, group them, just like so, then turn these into a row. There it is. This is our header. But anyways, if I were to scroll down, then you can see that we have this different minified header here, which is really interesting. We'll get to this one in a bit. First, let's go ahead, let's create the entire site, and then we'll be implementing this, so let's not even worry about it for now. Anyways, back here, as far as I'm concerned, our header looks pretty good. We'll be making some tiny adjustments in just a bit, but for now, our header is fine. So now let's go back and let's go ahead and let's add a new template for our front page. In here, simply click on add template and select front page. So now we have a front page template, and this is where we're going to be designing our front page, since the website, the Joe Rogan website, is a single page website or a single page site. So yeah, anywho, let's first go ahead, and since this is a template, we can go ahead and we can get our header template part. So simply select a template part in here, choose the header that we just created. It is this one right here. There it is. Now, from what I see, I feel like these paragraph texts, they need to be a little bit more small. I feel like they're a little bit too big right now. Now, the good thing about WordPress is you can edit template parts straight away from any template, so this is awesome. But yeah, I think it's better if we keep these as medium, I think. So I'll just set these as medium right now. Okay, so there it is. The text are set to medium. Totally cool. Now let's go ahead. Let's get started with our page. So first of all, we're going to have to get a group block. There it is. Single column group block. And in here, we're going to add an image block first for our first image. Choose it from within our media library. This is the first image right here. Let's just select it. There it is. Right? Looks fine. Anyways, now let's go ahead. Let's select the group block here and give this thing a background first. Now this is our background color. It's a little bit lighter compared to our header color. And also, while we're at it, we're going to give this thing a padding, a regular padding, so that, things look a little bit good. Anyways, before this image, we have a social icon, like a group of social icons. So what we're going to do is we're going to add before, and we'll type in /social icons. And in here, we're going to add a few icons. Now, what are the icons exactly? The icons are YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. So first of all, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and finally Facebook. Now, once that's done, let's go ahead and let's make sure all these things are justified to the right? And then we're going to select the social icons group, and we can change its color from here. Make it so everything is white. But why is it not changing? Oh, I think I understand why. We need to do this, and this. Okay, cool. But why the colors not change? Okay, so that's the icon color, and this is the icon background. So if I do this and I do that, oh, there it is. This fixed it. Okay, so here we have our icons. I don't really like the size of them. We're gonna make it just a little bit bigger. Just make it large. Why not? Let's just save it for now. Let's see how this looks. But wait, even before we do that, we have this gap right here, so we need to fix that as well. So select the group block here, and by default what WordPress does is it adds a little bit of a margin there. So we're gonna have to remove this margin, make sure it's set to none, right? And also this group block, or this columns block that we have here, this thing might be giving some margin as well, so make sure you remove that margin too. There it is. That margin has now been removed and everything is aligned perfectly. So let's save it for now, and let's go ahead and let's visit our site. There it is. This is what it is looking like currently. Compare this to the actual Joe Rogan website. I mean, right, there's still a few adjustments that we have to make, namely the gap here between these two items, and this gap is a little bit too big, I feel like, so we're going to fix that. Let's not even worry about it. We need to select the row block, and in here we need to give it some block spacing so that things look a little bit better. I think regular padding, would that be good? Regular padding looks alright. Sure, we'll just give it some regular padding for now, I think. There it is. Let's save it. Now let's move over to this part right here, JRE, image, a few texts. Now for that, I'm not going to complicate things too much. I'm simply going to duplicate this group block, right? And what we'll do is, we don't need this social icons block, so let's just delete that. And we'll replace this image with the other image of Joe Rogan just sitting there smiling. Let's select this. And now right before this image, we're going to add before a heading. So it's going to be /heading, just like so. Make sure it is center aligned, right? And let's type in JRE. And it seems we don't have any block grouping here, so we're going to fix that. Let's add some block grouping. Where's it at? Not block grouping, my bad. I meant block spacing. Let's add like small. Yeah, you know what? Sure, small is fine. There it is. So we've got this text here as well. Now, since I've already done my work, this thing requires 60px size. And it uses a letter spacing of 7 pixels. And I think it also uses a different font weight. I think it's set to semi-bold. Yeah, this looks good. Yeah, this is it. So they've got this. And finally, after our image, we're going to add after. And in here, we're simply going to paste in the text. This text right here. Let's simply copy this. And after that, we've got a button here called Watch Now. Now, a thing about this text is that you can't just paste the text and be like, oh, there it is, done. No, you can't do that. There's a small little thing that you need to work on. And that is, we first need to add one thing, and that is going to be a columns block. So I'm going to explain to you why we're doing this, but yeah, we're going to need a columns block in a 3-column layout. Since the text only exists here in the middle, like only the middle part. So yeah, the text only exists in this area right here, so we're going to have to do something similar. And the idea here is to create a columns block with a 3-column layout. So the first column is going to be empty, the second column is going to be filled with this text, and the third column is going to be empty as well. And for this one, we need to make sure that this column here has a width of about 25%, right? This one needs to have a width of about 50%, not about, it needs to be exactly 50%, okay? And finally, this one as well, set it to 50 so that it adds up to 100. And now here in the middle column, we're simply gonna paste in that text. There it is. Now, as I said before, this text as well, it has a typography letter spacing of 0.4. So we're simply gonna type that in, 0.4, just like so. And also this thing has a text size or a font size of 16px. So yeah, we're gonna set it to 16 as well. There it is. Let's do one thing. Let's make sure that this column is set to wide width, or is that gonna be too much? I think it's gonna be too much. We'll just set it to normal for now. None. And also, while I'm at it, we will remove any sort of block spacing this thing may have. And also, I'm going to make sure this thing is middle aligned. Okay, so let's see what our site is looking like currently. So one thing that I just realized is that our image is a little bit too small, so we're gonna have to fix that as well. And the image needs to be at wide width at 1012 pixels, so we're gonna do the same thing here as well. Bam, there it is. This looks better, and I think I'm going to drop the full screen thing that I was doing because I feel like it's gonna be much easier for me to switch tabs just like this, right? Bam, bam. Anyways, now that we've got this covered, and we've got our text in here as well. Okay, so now it makes sense. So now I need to make it wide width so that it goes with the image. Okay, and also, let's do this. Let's not remove the block spacing. Let's keep it at small. Sure, why not? Why? Because I just realized one thing. This word here called comedians, it's gone down. And here as well, it's gone down. So I just wanted to fix that part. Nothing much. Okay, that is it. Close this columns block. Let's go ahead. Let's add after. And here we need to add a buttons block. There it is. This is our button. Make sure it is justified to the center. And the text here is watch now. I'm pretty sure that is the text, right? Yep, that's the text. And it has a circular, not a circular, it has an outline. So we're going to select outline here. Make sure that the radius is set to 0. And let's give it a border of 2 pixels. And the color needs to be white. Save it. So this is what it's looking like. Looks pretty good. I think the text needs to be a little bit different, but you know what? Who cares? Who cares? We got this thing done as well. Now let's go ahead, let's duplicate this thing. But wait, even before we do that, we have a group of social icons here that is barely visible. So do we add it? Actually, we're gonna add it in the about section. Totally cool. So let's go ahead, let's duplicate this group once again. So we have a copy of that group. And now this one needs to be about, right? let's go ahead, let's replace the image with the other image of Joe Rogan. And right before this, we need to get our social icons once again. So what I'll do is I will copy this group of icons that we have, right? Simply duplicate it and then drag and drop it right above the image. So we should have it down here. There it is. Now for this one, this thing is justified to the center and it has a smaller size. There it is. And no way, I'm not going to be using this gray color here, okay? I'm a man of principles. Things need to be visible, it needs to look good, and I think this looks good. And I don't know why, but now I feel like about, social links, and then an image, this is a better approach than just having your social links up here. But sure, just to keep up with whatever they have done, I'm going to keep it up there while keeping the colors white, okay? And yeah, here we need to change the text now. Now we also have this small little, I don't know, what do you call it? Like a footnote? I don't know, it's not called a footnote, is it? Like, you know, let's just call it an appreciation to Troy Conrad. So to implement this appreciation, what we have to do is we need to first of all group this block, the image block. We need to group it. And within this group, within the image, we're going to add after a paragraph text. And we're simply going to paste in the text, make sure its size is set to small, and then select the group block and make sure this toggle here, inner blocks use content with, is turned off. So yeah, now your text is going to be plastered to the side, to the left side. And yeah, this looks pretty good. Now we need to change the text, but even before that, we don't need this buttons block, so we're simply going to delete that. And in here, let's go in and let's paste in this text that we have. First of all, we have this Joe Rogan text, which I'm going to add first of all. Bam. And this thing has a different size. For now, I'm just going to wing it by using XL. Yeah, sure, XL looks fine. And now let's press enter and let's start filling this thing up. I'm simply going to copy all this text one by one, paste it. We need to make sure this thing's size is set to about 16 pixels. And just like before, we need to make sure the letter spacing here is set to 0.4. There it is. Now what I'll do is I'll simply duplicate this block, copy the second text block here and paste it. And you might be wondering why I'm not just copying the entire text and pasting it, because the way WordPress handles this thing is a little bit different. When you press enter, like, it generates a line break and it generates a different paragraph block. So the formatting is going to be different. So that is why you need to copy like text blocks one by one. That's all. Oh well, so there it is. We've got our text in here as well. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Again, we've got our social icons there. They're using, I feel like they just threw these social icons, just like meh. Anyways, since they have it there, I need to have it there as well. And let's add it after our columns block down there. There it is. We've got our social icons as well. Let's save it. Let's have a look how this looks. Visit the site. Now, obviously, it's going to look a little bit warped because of the WordPress menu here. Let's not worry about that. Let's look at the other things. All right, I like it. There's too much space here, so we need to fix that. I think to fix that, we can just do one thing. It might work, it might not work. It's like basically 50-50, but let's see. So in here, we'll just select the group or the columns block. Actually, let's do one thing. Let's group it, right? And then go down here and make sure this thing is set to wide width. And we're going to select the group once again, and we'll give this thing a background color instead of the columns block. There it is. Does this look fine? Let's have a look in the front end. Yeah, this looks close enough. I think we can just do one thing. We'll just add some block spacing, right? Some regular block spacing. Oh, this thing has some padding, so we just need to remove that padding there. And others, I don't think we need to remove it, whatever. Okay, there it is. Now we have some breathing room there. And, you know, it looks close. Okay, good enough. Now, one thing I realized is that this image or these icons as well, they're not in sync with the image, so we're gonna have to fix that. And to fix it, just like we did before, we're gonna have to go in there and we're gonna have to group these two blocks and make sure they do not share the same content width. Save it, man, bada bing, bada boom. There we go, it's fixed now. And there it is. I think we've got everything in here, right? Now, even before we jump into the footer, we need to implement this menu here. So we're going to implement that menu. So basically, this is a separate header, and this is a separate header. And this header only shows up when that header is not in the screen. Is that a good explanation? Like, that is the simplest way I can describe it to you, right? Now, what we're going to have to do is, within this header, we're going to have to create that header as well. So to create that header, it's pretty simple. Let's go ahead and let's add before, right? We have this paragraph text in here. Let's turn this thing into a group. Select a single column layout here, and in here, let's just add the links. So to add the links, what I'll do is I'll simply duplicate these, duplicate that, and I'll just drag and drop that thing there. And while I'm at it, I'm also going to give this group block a background color so that we can actually see the thing that's happening there. And also let's give this thing some padding, just a little bit of padding. We don't want this second header to be looking really big. So yeah, let's go ahead, let's duplicate this thing once again. And actually let's duplicate it a few more times. There it is. And now let's rename this to JRE Podcast. Let's rename this to About. And this one to Shop. There it is. Right, select all 4 of these. Let's group them and turn this thing into a stack. And now let's go ahead, let's justify it to the center. And there it is. This looks pretty good, right? This is our mini header. Now we need to make sure this thing is hidden. And I have written a snippet for it. I'm not going to explain what this snippet does. Just know that this thing works, okay? You just need to copy paste a few things and that's all. So this is the code. I'm simply going to copy everything from script all the way down to the style or up to the style. And in here, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to add a custom HTML block. I'm going to add it at the end of this page. Later on, we're going to move it inside of the footer template because it is a good practice to load all of your scripts in the footer. Don't ask me why, okay? I'm not even going to explain it. I'm just going to paste all my code in here. There it is, right? And there are just 2 things you need to do after you've done this. First of all, what you need to do is you need to go up top, select the header that you just created, right? This group right here, and assign this thing a class. So within your block settings, go within advanced and give this thing a class called hider because this thing needs to be hidden at first. And that's why I named it hider. And this group block, which is your main header, we're going to give this thing an ID. So again, go within advanced and HTML anchor. You're going to see this. Just name it trigger and save it. So after you've done this, things are basically going to work. It's like magic. Okay. So right now you can't see the header, right? The mini header, you can't see it. But if I were to scroll down a little bit, there it is. This is our header. And guess what? Unlike Joe Rogan's header here, which kind of lags, yuck, mine doesn't. Like actually, this header was not lagging before. It just started lagging now. I don't know why. But yeah, basically, this is how you can implement it, right? There it is. Bam, we have a mini header now. So now that we've done it, let's go ahead and let's move towards our footer area. And after that, this video is basically done. So for our footer, once again, back within the editor, go within patterns, and let's add a new template part. And let's select a footer template part, and we're just going to name it Joe Footer. This is a weird blue color and it says powered by Squarespace. I'm gonna say powered by Sid on mine because I can. So first of all, let's go ahead, let's add a group block. All right, let's make sure it's a single column layout. Give this thing a background color straight away. This is the color. And now let's just add our text first. Powered by Sid. And I'm gonna do this and I'm just gonna say tegrill.co. That's my website, by the way, tegrill.co. If you haven't visited it, go visit it right now. I have a free WordPress beginners mini course there, and I also have a WordPress side hustle course there. So just letting you know. Anyways, let's go ahead and let's give this thing some padding now. Make sure this thing looks good, right? Let's just give it some regular padding, why not? And let's change the size of this text to medium or small, sure. Save it. And now we need to go back and we need to edit our template. The template that we just created for our front page. Go within templates. And this right here is the front page template. Just scroll down. Or actually no need to scroll down. Let's just search for template part in here. All right, let's just add a new template part. Choose one. And it's going to be this, Joe Footer. There it is. Now, just like I said before, it's good if you move this custom HTML, custom JavaScript and CSS code into your footer. Why? Because first of all, this is a template, right? The template part, the footer is a template part. So if this code exists within the footer, it's going to exist page wide. So your header or this animation or this script that we have is going to run everywhere. So this is awesome. Right, and second of all, it's always good to have your scripts at the end of the page so that it loads always after the element has loaded, else your script will not work. So yeah, there it is. We've done it. Save it. Now let's have a look. This is our site, right? We've got our mini header, and if we scroll down, we've got our footer, and we have this blank space. Okay, wait, let me fix that. So select this group block once again, and make sure it does not have any margin up top. Same thing for this group as well. Make sure it doesn't have any margin. And if that doesn't fix it, I don't know what will. Wait, that did not fix it? What do you mean? Okay, I'm just gonna go about in a cheeky way to fix this. And that is to do something like this. -20. There it is. Save it. So I just basically added some negative margin in there just so things look well aligned. And there it is. It looks aligned now. Perfect. So this is our site. And this is the actual Joe Rogan site in here, right? Actually, let's view the site on an incognito window so that we don't have the admin bar. And here, I'm going to open the Joe Rogan website. So yeah, this right here is our website, right? Looks pretty good. And if I were to scroll up, this is the Joe Rogan's website. Looks pretty good, right? Looks awesome if I do say so myself. There it is. We have successfully recreated, and in some ways we've even bettered the Joe Rogan website with, you know, visible icons. Unlike this is a total abomination. I mean, look at this. This thing is barely visible. And they also have some hover animation there, like it's going to do something. I still don't see it, okay? Okay, this is me editing the video, and before anyone gets mad in the comments, I totally forgot to turn these things into a link, so we're gonna do that. I think I kind of forgot this in my previous video as well. Let's not worry about it. I'm here now, and we're gonna fix it. So in the Joe Rogan website here, what's happening is, since this is a single page website, all these links, they actually just scroll down to their sections, and I'm going to show you how to do this. So to do that, it's really simple. Where does the home take me? Wait, what? The home just takes me here. So I don't understand the concept of home. But I mean, here it makes sense, I guess. But sure, you know what? Whatever, forget it. So this section right here, this group, where is it at? So this group right here, this thing is our home. So we're going to have to give this thing a class or an ID, my bad. We'll just call it home-scr, right? You can give any class name really. Just make sure it is a little bit unique so that it does not conflict with something else. So just make sure. So once you've named it home-scr or whatever you've named it, you can simply go in within this link here, or this text in my case, and you can turn this thing into a link and make sure to type in hash and whatever ID name you've given, paste it in there just like so, save it. Now this thing will have an underline, don't worry about it, we're going to remove that. But yeah, now if I were to visit my site, and if I click on home, it's just going to, take me down to home. In the same way for this one right here, so this is the GRE part, right? We're going to give this thing a anchor, JRESCR, Control C, go up top. This is our link in here. We're simply going to turn this thing into a link, hash, and the ID name. Enter it, save. So if I refresh it now, there it is. If I click on it, bam, it's going to take me down here. Very simple. This is how you turn them into links. And let's remove this underline as well. To do that, we got to go within our styles tab, go within typography, I think, and we've got links in here, and make sure that the decoration is set to none. And that's it. This is how you can turn links into links, or texts into links, my bad. So this is how you can do it for everything else. If you want to know how to turn this button into a link, then you can simply go down, click on the button, and you can click on this link icon here, and you can simply paste in the link, techgrol.co, or wherever you want to send people, right? You can save that. And now if I were to refresh this, and if I click on it, there it is. It's going to take me to whatever site I've put in there. So yeah, I'm glad I remembered this. So yeah, this is it. This looks pretty good. Joe Rogan website recreated within WordPress. I hope you enjoyed this video. So I hope you guys found that video helpful. I've been really enjoying these website recreating videos. So if there are any websites that you would want to see me recreate, then I'd happily try to recreate it within WordPress using default Gutenberg blocks. And yeah, I suppose that's about it for this video. Drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter, and I suppose I'm going to see you whenever I'll see you. Take care.